Well, Anthony, my name is Philip. I'm going to be talking with you a little bit today. I'd like to go ahead and let you know I'm a student at UGA. I'm working for my licensure. So as a part of that process, I have a licensed professional who's guiding me through my work. So as a part of that process, I may be disclosing to him some of this information, only in the sense that kind of in searching for guidance and help from him. Outside of that, really, you sign the paperwork, but the only obligation I have to disclose is if I feel that you are going to be, doing any sort of harm to yourself or to others. Otherwise, really, this is between us. This should be some growing experience. But were you able to find the office all right today?
I was.
Okay.
Thanks.
Excellent. And how does today find you? Are you doing well today?
I'm making it today. I'm here because of a breakup.
Okay.
But I'm making it today.
Okay.
Thanks
Well,
for asking.
I think that sometimes that's the best that you can expect out of a day. But so you said that you were just making it today. Is that a typical feeling for a day to day, or can kind of explain what a typical day feels like for you?
Since the breakup?
Sure. Since the breakup.
Since the breakup, well, I have to get up, and when I open my eyes, I have to remember that it's still true. I have to then deal with that for a moment before I get out of bed, and then you have to brush your teeth, and you start to wake up and you think it actually is still true. And then you have to go do things like drive and go to class and listen and talk to people and smile at people because you're in a graduate program and you're making, you're making impressions to your cohort. It's taxing. That's what a day is like. That's what making it is like. I did the smiling, I did the showing up, I did the listening and the writing, I did the driving safely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard you use the word taxing, and it seems like all of these examples you're giving, waking up, opening your eyes, brushing your teeth, a lot of times in day-to-day activities, those are things that are kind of mundane and natural. But it sounds like to you right now, would you consider those to be pretty labored activities, or are those still pretty simple for you?
It depends on the mood. It's been about 2 weeks, so things have gotten a little easier, but they were pretty difficult in the very beginning. Everything was difficult in the beginning.
Yeah.
You feel everything.
Okay. So you said you feel everything. You felt everything right after the breakup occurred. Can you explain to me a little bit more what is different now? What is different today, as opposed to really like kind of the ground zero when it happened?
You're used to the hurt. You're used to the pain being there.
Okay.
So that's about what is different. It's not so new anymore. The sting isn't so intense. It's still there, but you're almost used to it now. You as in I, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like in your mind you've made progress in coping. Do you feel like you've made progress in overcoming the issue itself? Or overcoming, I guess, the emotions associated with this breakup?
I have learned to self-regulate a little bit through distraction. I'm not an expert self-regulator by any means, but if distraction is what has to work, it's what has to work. I also have a great support system I can reach out to, and I talk to them a lot. And then there's school. School keeps me busy.
Okay.
It keeps me very busy.
Okay. Yeah.
So a little bit of coping through distraction.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So I heard you giving some examples of ways that you found to distract yourself. So you cited school, you cited your family. Of those two, like, which do you feel is more of like a positive influence that's really kind of improved your situation and your approach towards handling this breakup?
That would be my chosen family.
Okay.
It's a circle of really close friends. My biological family, not so much, but chosen family is definitely winning over school.
Sure.
School feels, otherwise, normally I'd be loving school. Loving it. It's kind of my thing, my jam. But this is making it feel like it's a job that you don't want to go to. And you have to. So the family is by far ending up being a source of positivity.
Absolutely. So I liked what you said when you call it your chosen family. You know, you're not limiting your support system to just the biological family, but you referenced, you know, friends and other kind of close loved ones as well. How extensively have you spoken with them in regards to this problem you're dealing with?
As extensive as I can be with myself.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no hiding. There's no fear of judgment. I mean, it's a pretty unconditional thing. So as extensive as I can be with myself.
Well,
I said it's a great circle.
Yeah, that sounds like a wonderful resource, and I know that I'm getting the sense that you still feel like you have, you know, ways to go and strides to make, but I hope you haven't lost sight of the fact that, you know, you said it's been about 2 weeks now. It seems like you've made some incredible strides already in your life. You've found those support systems. And just the fact that you're waking up, you're going to this work of school. You know, so that's not a given. That's not something that you have to do. You could very easily open your eyes when you wake up in bed and close them back shut and decide no.
Too.
So,
thank you.
So that's some incredible progress. So after that progress that you've kind of described to me, how do you see these sessions? How do you see us talking furthering your progress?
Well, I was hoping that you and I could, over the next bit, look at some things that I think I would do differently, and to see if maybe there are any lessons that I can learn from what I think went wrong. And then, of course, there's the issue of the immediate pain. How I'm not doing well with this. But yeah, I think I need to ready myself for the next time. And I think all that kind of boils down to in here. It's not about relating to someone else. I think it's about something that I need to fix in here, and that's what we're going to work on. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we can definitely tackle that in here, and I'm definitely kind of hearing that two-pronged approach that you would like to take. You know, dealing with the hurt of what has already happened, and preparing to you know, kind of deal with whatever comes in the future. Now, in your future relationships, do you predict experiencing more pain, experiencing more of these harsh breakups, or is this something where when you're planning for the future, you see yourself planning for that success, for something kind of other than this?
That one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're not going to detour for something small again that could turn into something big. We're going to know before. I'm going to know before I really put myself back into it. So no more skirmishes.
Okay.
It'll be the big successes.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, and I
figured out.
Yeah, I admire that goal, and it sounds like. Do you feel that you have a positive self-image of yourself functioning in a relationship?
Not most days.
No. Okay.
It took a little critique.
Okay.
Took a little criticism, and I guess when you respect someone's opinion a lot, even if it's not well-founded, you take it for more than it should be. And I'm just trying to shake off all the things that he told me. I'm trying to shake off all the reasons that it was easy to leave, all the reasons that it was easy to fall out of love. And I see a positive glimpse every once in a while. It's very, what is the word, punctuated? It's every once in a while. Thanks for asking, though, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have thought of it.
I'm here to ask questions, but so do you feel that before this breakup, do you feel that you had a positive vision of yourself in a relationship? Do you feel like, to clarify my question, do you feel like this breakup affected how you see yourself functioning in a relationship?
Absolutely. And to answer the first part of your question, I didn't have a concept of myself in a relationship.
Okay.
I was just kind of doing it. introspection was not something. It was not my forte, and I had never, I never had to look at what I was doing in a relationship, which would explain some failures, would explain some difficulties, some pain, some anomalies, some things that are still unanswered. But yeah, this relationship has definitely forced me to develop some kind of concept of what I am in a relationship where there wasn't one before. So looking back, I can see some positive things, I can see some negative things, but it had never occurred to me before.
I think what I'm hearing is that while you have kind of heard these negative statements that have been directed towards you, that you do kind of have that overarching sense of positivity about your self-image and about how you hold yourself in a relationship. So I think that is really a tool, a seed that we can use going forward and to kind of build on for your successes. Would you agree that you have maintained that kind of seed of positivity?
Barely.
Barely?
Yeah. Barely. It's there.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what are some of the kind of the damaging things, the things that have broken you down that were said, so we can maybe try to process through some of that hurt that it was caused?
That's a difficult one. Since we just met, I appreciate you trying to ask that, but since we just met, why don't we give it a little more time before I go there?
Sure. Why don't we try to turn towards the future in that case and look forward towards future successes, and we can maybe as we discuss those future successes, we can perhaps stumble upon some of these past hiccups and see what we can't do to handle.
Yeah,
those.
I'm sure it'll come out.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the future, you talked a little while ago. You talked about striving for more positive relationships. To you, would you describe kind of a positive relationship, what that looks like for you?
Based in honesty. And I think that honesty with another person starts with your ability to be honest with yourself. Again, just kind of walking through life, doing it, you don't have to be honest with yourself. And so it's like there's this whole new mode of being now. And it's not just being with someone else, it's being with you. And I think that's what I'm realizing about positive relationships is it starts here. That is my view right now of a positive relationship. It's very limited, but I want to say that it's a pretty good cornerstone.
Yeah, I hear you talking a lot about this kind of honesty in relationship and an honesty with yourself, and I think that also if you're kind of looking at this entire body that you've presented to me, honesty and it seems like self-actualization. I'm getting a sense that while this was a damaging experience, that this has also been an experience of discovery. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think that, again, that sense of discovery is something where, if you think of the proverbial, the phoenix from the ashes, like, of course you've been hurt, but this kind of allows you to maybe create yourself, it sounds like, not even a recreation. This sounds like really allowing yourself to...
It is.
Okay. So I think that hopefully that's something that once you find yourself, do you think that your lack of self-image has ever affected your ability to be engaged in a relationship or successful in a relationship? Or
Oh, sure. Yeah. Looking back, using the things that I've learned here very recently, taking what I know now and looking backward through that lens is like a train wreck, honestly. I hate to give away so much and be so open, having just met. But it definitely, I can see ways that it affected the past, the relationships in the past.
absolutely.
I see things like that almost every 60 seconds right now because that's where my mind stays these days.
Just to clarify, so you're saying your mind stays in the past, kind of seeing those past mistakes? Is that what you're saying?
It doesn't stay in the past. It constantly is going to the past right now. It's staying in the present. It's the heart hurts, and so the brain is trying to figure out why.
Okay.
And every time I experience something and I'm reminded, of something from the relationship, something I've just learned, it always immediately goes back. I feel like that's kind of natural. I feel like that, like everybody does that. You just go back to what you know, what you've experienced. And so, do I stay there a lot? I guess you'd say that, but it's only because I continue to go back.
Well, it's and it seems like, from what you've shared with me today, it seems like your visits to the past, so to speak, have, at least at this point in the kind of the grieving and the recovery process, they no longer deeply affect your ability to remain in the present and remain active in the present. Again, to go back to the examples of, waking up, getting yourself ready and put together, going to school and still applying yourself and succeeding in that realm. Those are not things that have been hampered during, at least in this stage of your process. And so we are running a little bit low on time for today's session. What I would invite you to do is, perhaps if it's not too painful, when you find your mind going back to those past experiences, I invite you to, maybe write down 2 or 3 of those experiences that you frequently go back to and find yourself reflecting on, and perhaps those would be some good experiences to visit if you're comfortable and ready to do that next time.
Sure.
Well, thank you very much for sharing today.
Thank you.